Welcome back to the channel, and I'm your host, Coach Evans. And hopefully you hear me fine. I got this live mic on, and I don't know how well it's picking up. But today, again, something a little different. And this video was kind of inspired by Bobby Trossett, and I'll talk about him a little later. Um, Steve Saunders. We all know of the events that took place, and over the course of the last basically three years or so. And so I titled it, This Dude Has More Lives Than a Cat. You know, they can say a cat got 9 lives, but it keep being constant issues with this guy. And the interview that Bobby put out with Derek Wolfe really made me stop and just take a look back at the different things that has transpired with Mr. Sanders, Mr. Saunders or Sanders, however you say it. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize because I guess it's Saunders because it has a U in it. But let's take a look at the different things I pulled up, and we'll kind of go through it, and I'll kind of end with little snippets from the video and my take on it. So first off, let me bring this up. Steve Saunders. This is from the Ravens page. He's in his 7th season with the Ravens. His current role is a head strength and conditioning coach. He oversees the strength and conditioning program. In 2017, as director of performance, after originally joining the organization in 2016 as the team's director of performance and recovery. Saunders guides all speed, strength training, and recovery initiatives, working closely with the team's athletic training department. So he's basically over working out, anything you may take, just getting back to playing speed, so to speak, and not necessarily speed as how fast you run, but just getting back onto the field. Now, the first thing, he had the issue with the COVID thing. And, in 2020, we had a bunch of players out for the COVID thing. And after that kind of worked its way through, this is what the Baltimore Sun put out about Saunders and his role in that. Let me put me back up here so I can make sure I get you the right thing first. All right, here we go. So it says, the Ravens head strength and conditioning coach, Steve Saunders, apologized to the players and the coaches for his role in the team's widespread coronavirus outbreak. What up, Marco? Coach John Harbaugh said on Wednesday. Saunders, who had not routinely worn a proximity tracker or a mask, which as required by the NFL rules, had not reported potential COVID-19 symptoms as he worked with players. According to sources, he was suspended a month for his conduct relating to the outbreak. He returned to work in late December, and Harbaugh said at the season-ending news conference Wednesday that Saunders' relationship with the team was good and normal. Okay. To me, with what went on in 2020, the way they had to reschedule games and had people out, there's no way his relationship would be good and normal. I may not have fired him, but he would have been on thin ice. Would have definitely been on thin ice. It goes on to say, over a 10-day span in late November and early December, nearly 24 Ravens were placed on NFL Reserve's COVID-19 list, designated for players who've tested positive or been exposed to a high-risk close contact. President Dick Cass said in a statement last month that at least 4 unique strains of COVID-19 had entered the Ravens facility in Owen Mills. A highly contagious strain of COVID-19 and non-compliance with league protocols, Cass said, led to an outbreak, the worst in the NFL. Keyword, the worst in the NFL. But his relationship was good and normal. Goes on to say, Harbaugh on Wednesday defended Saunders, who joined the franchise in 2016, saying we all had issues, players and coaches and staff, with protocols at times. But he said Saunders, who hadn't publicly commented this season, felt really bad about his shortcomings with the incident. But again, his relationship once he came back was normal and good. Now and that's kind of bland what I just read to you. Let's go into detail about what happened during that time. Let's go into a little detail about what happened at the time. Marco says, what's good, coach? We knew Saunders was the ops for years now, major injuries, one after another, no incident. We have Benjamin Watson also spoke out about this years ago. Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. What up, Yusuf? We're gonna get into that too in just a second. Make sure I got my ducks in a row. All right. So here's the next thing. Now I'll take myself off the screen. I guess I can stay. You can see me. It says inside, and this is from Jameson Hensley, the now infamous Jameson Hensley. This is from December 1st, 2020. Shortly after, I guess Saunders came back, and we had those games rescheduled and whatnot. So, and I'll skip down to the third paragraph. It says, as of Tuesday morning, Baltimore had 10 straight days of positive tests. The coronavirus has spread through the organization, infecting players, coaches, and support staff. There are at least 30 members of the organization who either tested positive or identified as high risk, close contact, or source said. So the Ravens' Week 12 game against the rival Steelers, which was supposed to happen on Thanksgiving night, and we all remember that, got moved to Sunday, then to Tuesday, then to Wednesday. And let's take a look at how that happened. So Wednesday, December 2nd, the Ravens were tested in the morning, just hours before kickoff. All tests were negative, a source told Adam Schefter. So Baltimore will play the game as originally scheduled for Thanksgiving. This ended 10 straight days of at least one Ravens player testing positive. At least 14 Baltimore players have tested positive during that time, including 7 Pro Bowl players. All right. Tuesday, December 1st, rookie safety Geno Stone tested positive along with equipment manager, according to a source. The Ravens learned of the positive test late, just before traveling to Pittsburgh. The team reduced the number of players on this reserve COVID list for the first time since the outbreak began November 22nd. Baltimore activated 4 players, Brandon Williams, Trace McSorley, Tavon Young, and Khalil Dorsey. And now they had 16. So Monday, November 30th. We're going backwards now. We're going backwards. The Ravens had their 9:30 a.m. practice canceled by the NFL. The league was awaiting results of the latest test before allowing plans to practice, the source added. The Ravens waited most of the day, not knowing whether they could practice again that afternoon and board the plane to play the NFL's only undefeated team. The day ended with the game between the AFC North rivals getting moved for a third time in 6 days. Still, we're going backwards. Sunday, the 29th. So matter of fact, let me just go to the bottom and go up then, because that might be better for the chronological order of it. Because it is kind of confusing going backwards. So let's go back. And I'm sorry I took you there. I'm still working through this. Thursday, November 19th. And then we'll go up, and that'll take us through the days as far as leading up to it. Strength conditioning coach known for the Ravens tested positive. That's Saunders. We're going to Sunday, November 22nd. And Saunders wasn't wearing a mask, wasn't wearing the tracker, wasn't doing the protocols that were set forth by the NFL. J.K. Dobbins and Ingram tested positive Sunday, just hours before the Ravens' emotional overtime loss to the Titans. Move on up. So Monday, the next day, the Ravens team facility is closed this morning, but the NFL authorized Baltimore to reopen in the afternoon. After virtual team and position group meetings, the team conducted a walkthrough during which everyone wore masks. Outside linebacker, Pernell McPhee, keep going, who always ended his media session saying, stay positive, test negative, becomes the third player this week to test positive. Nose tackle Brandon Williams is identified as high risk, close contact, because he's been around Pernell McPhee in meetings and such. Go to Tuesday, November 24th. Team facility shut down again. And you got 3 more players, Calais Campbell, Pat McCarr, Matt Skura. Also reporting Trace McSorley. So that's 4 more players. The next day, the 25th, the NFL announced that Thursday night game between the Ravens, which was supposed to be the very next day, the 26th, had to be changed. And you see all the rigmarole that's going down. Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. The biggest headline, Lamar Jackson tested positive. So again, that whole fiasco in itself, and then you can read this link is on ESPN. Just type in COVID outbreak with the Ravens in 2020, and you can see the whole thing. So let's move on to the next thing. Just so the COVID thing done, over with. He's back. The coach says he's in good standing. Whatever. But at this point, to me, and probably to most human beings, this cat will be on thin ice. But it's normal and good when he came back. What up, Shug? What up, Donovan? What up, Cam? Let's move on to the next thing on my list. All right. Take a look at this. And this is going to be really shocking once I pull it up. All right, here we go. So 2020 was the COVID situation. The next year, you know, we were decimated, and I mean decimated with injuries. So what I want you to do is necessarily focus on the pink to red. The pink is out, and this is by weeks. The dark red is IR, meaning they were on IR for whatever reason. Hold on one second. I was just tripping. Wanted to. Oh, now I'm back. So, for whatever reason, just look at the pink to the red. Rashad Bateman started the season IR. Miles Boykin IR. Nick Boyle IR. J.K. Dobbins IR. Khalil Dorsey IR. We know J.K. got hurt in second game maybe versus Kansas City. Khalil Dorsey IR. Because it got the weeks across the top too. Gus Edwards whole year. L.J. Ford pretty much the whole year. Dalen Hayes almost the whole year. Marlon Humphrey toward the end of the year, but Marlon got hurt in the game, so we don't really want to charge that to stop. Xavier Kelly whole year. Marcus Peters whole year, preseason. Tyree Phillips, the start of the year. Chris Restry, a bunch of games at the beginning. I don't know how Chris Restry got hurt. And then the kicker, Derek Wolfe. And all this is going to lead up to Derek Wolfe here shortly. Derek Wolfe, out, IR. So, as far as people on injury reserve, it was reported. I thought J.K. was lost in preseason, pay the bills. I don't know why he got the second game of the year. I thought he was lost in the preseason, so I don't know why I got that on there. Maybe they thought he was going to come back until they found out. I don't know. But I thought J.K. got hurt in preseason the same day. No, Gus and Peters got hurt the same day, and J.K. got hurt in the preseason game. So I don't know why it got that like that. But again, and at this time, you can kind of say Saunders is at fault, but you can't really, ain't no really bite to it to say that because all teams work out, all teams have a regimen, and just stay with me. Just stay with me. So again, this was the injury riddle last year. So now this year, we supposed to have everybody back. We had a bunch of people back, and we still have some injuries. And you can or cannot attest to it. You can kind of formulate your own opinion on it. But the same thing here. Vince Beagle, whole year. Slade Bolden, whole year. I don't know how they got hurt. I have no clue. Jamal Bridges was on IR before he got cut. He's back now, though. Kyle Fuller. We know Kyle Fuller got hurt in the game in New York. That stadium is horrible. Dalen Hayes. I don't have a clue how he got hurt. If you don't, put it in the comment section. Juwan James was hurt when we signed him, and then hurt again. Charlie Kohler. We haven't seen Charlie Kohler, so I don't know if he got hurt. He definitely got hurt after the draft. The only person that we really can't attest to him is Ojabo, and we know Ojabo got hurt in his pro day. But you still see a lot of red. It's a lot of red on this thing, and we know Marcus Williams got hurt in the game. But let's get to the bomb of this thing. The bomb of this thing is Bobby Tross's interview with Derek Wolfe, which he put out yesterday. And I'm not going to show the whole thing. I got some timestamps that I want to go through. And let me set that up for you, and then I'll get you out of here. But this is what prompted me to go back and look at all this data and see what the issue was. Let me get that on my screen real quick. I got some timestamps, and I'll link Bobby's video so you can go watch the whole thing. All right. Let me start 123. All right. So what I'll do is I'll play what Bobby said, and you kind of hear Derek's voice, and then we'll go from there. Matter of fact, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear Derek's voice when it comes on. Because if you saw me yesterday, me and Jose had to figure out how to get sound to come through.
Office.
You know, man, ownership over there is awesome. And the front office,
you can feel it.
Yeah, their front office is like, they care about you. You know, Eric DaCosta is one of the best GMs I've ever been around. You know, I've been around a ton of them, but
Can you hear that? Give me a
as far
thumbs up
as
if you can hear that.
caring about his players and what's best for his players and putting the players first, that's what he's about. Their motto over there is that it's about the players. Like, players are the ones that win the football games.
All right. Now, so first off, what he did was he praised DeCosta for loving the players, caring about the players, and actually showing genuine love and caring and concern about the players. That was the first thing about it. So let's move on. 315 is my next one. So let me get to 315. Again, I'll put the link for the whole video in there. I don't want to show Bobby's whole video because he did amazing work on this. Shout out to Bobby Trossett for this.
It's because Harbaugh got up there and was like, I don't know what's going on with Wolfe. When he knew damn well what was going on.
Was he implying you were soft?
I don't know. He was implying that I just didn't want to play football. When I was doing everything I possibly could to get back on the field. I was 2 weeks away from getting back on the field. They put me in the weight room with that strength coach. I couldn't walk again.
With who? They put him back in the weight room with that strength coach. Same cat we was talking about with these COVID issues. And not following directions.
Couldn't walk. I was dragging my leg around again. After I got stem cell therapy, I got epidurals on my back. I did everything I could to get back on the field. And then all they had to do was wait for 2 more weeks of me. And I was training. I was just doing my own program because his program didn't work for it. It just didn't work for me. I was an 11-year vet, 10-year vet, man. Like, I don't need that kind of, like, the crazy stuff you got going on here, like, is not going to work for me.
The crazy stuff you got going on is not going to work for me. That's significant from an NFL vet who's probably worked out more than the average person has probably been at work. Working out is part of his job. For him to say the workouts that Saunders and his team is putting out there is crazy, it's nuts. Because Wolfe is a what I would consider a tough guy. Played in the trenches, was very effective in Denver, was effective when he first came here until the injury situation happened. So I got another clip. I got 2 more clips. Let me go to 615. Again, I'm not playing the whole video because I want you to go watch the whole video on Bobby's page because he, again, put the time in for this.
Yeah, and you're right. The Harbaugh comment, I remember that.
Well, no, it was me carrying a bear down a mountain.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Remember,
what?
Remember the picture
But
of
people
Wolfe
don't
with the bear on
understand
his
is
back?
that I had the surgery.
I too was wondering, like, how is he on injured reserve and he carrying this big ass bear? I definitely was like one of the fans, like, what the freak's going on?
6 months of rehab, and I had to get my the left side or the right side strong enough to support my weight and prove to the doctors and stuff that I could handle doing the other one because they can't do them both at the same time and you're just being a wheelchair and you'll never heal right.
Okay.
So then he goes after 6 or 7 months we're going to do the left side. So that was 2 weeks before I did the left side. So I was feeling really good. I was feeling like strong and good. I was doing rehab twice a day. Like I was doing everything I possibly could. And then ultimately he said, after he looked in there and did all the cleaning up, he was like, if you keep playing, your hips are going to have to be replaced. Both of them have to be replaced.
At what point was there a photo of you carrying a bear down the mountain?
I put it online.
And people killed you for that.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't care.
And he said he had to have both sides done. And he said the right side was done and healed. And then in 2 weeks, he was scheduled to get the other side done. So the picture was between the surgeries. So he couldn't have gotten that side that was not done. He couldn't have injured it any worse, which now knowing that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I can't mess this up any worse. I might as well go do something I love to do. What up, Chinwoo? And in this last little clip, this is 11:15, and then we'll kind of sum it all up. Second, I'm getting now. Right here. All right.
Ended like this.
T-Mac, listen, too, like, I wanted to be the guy to be like, hey, listen, nobody in this town right now is giving you a voice. We wanted to be that. that outlet for him, and he didn't hit me back.
Oh,
Well, you just got hit.
that's because I didn't know what I wanted to say. I didn't know, like, what. How do I even? I was so mad that people were mad at me. You know,
You
like,
just said,
A
you
lot of
just
us
said
were
it.
mad.
so
at
I
it,
was
but
like,
we
there
just
it
didn't know.
is.
Listen, and I loved the fans there. Like, I did. I loved them. They showed me so much love as soon as I stepped in that place. And then, like, one thing goes wrong, and they're like, "This guy's a thief. You're robbed us of money." Like, what are you talking about?
You were the Melvin Gordon of Baltimore.
Yeah, like I was the Melvin Gordon, right? Like I was out there losing games for us.
Now, with
I'll
that being
finish with
said,
this.
with that being said, so I'm just gonna give you the 3 strikes for me. The 3 strikes for me. Not following NFL protocols and pretty much and putting the entire team in danger for the most part. The rash of injuries in 2021, which can and cannot be attributed to the workouts that they were doing. I mean, you can't go and say, hey, JK injury is because of Saunders. You can't, there's no way to prove that. But the guy that's over their training and you get a bunch of these injuries, you got to kind of put 2 and 2 together. So then that would be strike 2. So, and they thought that too, because remember, they came out and said, we're going to revamp the way we train and do off season and camp and all that. So they think it had something to do with it too. So that lets me know, and it should let you guys know that, okay, yeah, they see a problem and they trying to fix it. Then for Wolfe to come out and say the stuff he said about, he didn't name that guy, but he said strength coach. There's only one strength coach there. So again, 2 and 2 equals 4. How many chances this cat gonna get to before something's done? Because he got suspended for a month for the COVID situation, probably with pay. I'll sit at home for a month with pay voluntarily. Sign me up. Sign me up. But how many chances they gonna give? And I said all that to say this. It goes back to the top. Whenever anything happens under the top of the umbrella, the top has to be accountable for it. And so either, and go back to this coaching thing, and I know this ain't no actual coaching X and O's thing, either you're coaching it or letting it happen. And if you're letting it happen and the ownership approves of letting it happen, ain't much we can do as fans, but just take it. Because if the owner's cool with it, he's the one controlling the money and the financials and all that, and nothing we can do about it. But again, I wish I had the lives that Mr. Saunders had, and I wish I had the the connections that he had, because he definitely, I don't know if he got like photos or something or what. And I'm joking now. I'm not serious. I'm joking. I don't know if he got whatever. But again, I appreciate y'all for coming through, spending this little lunch break time with me. And again, please go check out the whole video on Bobby Tross's channel. And once this is over with, I'm going to link his the actual video in the comment section and in the description. So go check out the whole interview. Make your own assessment, your own judgment, and put your comments in the comment section under here, and let me know what you think. And I'll read. I'm gonna read the comments out, the few comments I got, but it was kind of hard to read the comments and still kind of maneuver through all the stuff I had going on. So I appreciate you guys for coming through, and it's really tough to defend them, just like Kevin just put. I can't defend him on this one. It's tough. It's really tough to defend these issues that have been on. He had something going on in 2020 and 2021 with the rash of issues. And granted, nothing's really been said this year, but for this interview to come out at this time puts you back in that mind frame of how are they letting this stuff go on. And so right now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna be gone. Peace, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Hit the like button on your way out. What up, Tanja? Devon, Chinwoo, David, D3, Iron Pablo, Pay the Bills, Shug, Yusuf, Marco,